Well, welcome to Today I Work On, and welcome to something that was unfortunate. This is one of my shutoff valves for my water system outside the hose spigots. And a couple of months ago, it's the winter, so I'm turning the water on today, so I'm going to fix this. Look what happened. I have a failed Sharkbite fitting. It completely came off of the copper. Now, this is serious because a couple of months ago, at my house in Philly that I kind of remodeled in 2011, 2012, I also had a failure in a Sharkbite shutoff valve that was on a little bit of a bend. I'm going to show you a picture of it, and I'll give you a close-up of this. I'm really upset about this because these are my first two failures that I've had. This one only lasted 5 years, and I'm not sure what happened here, but it seemed like both failures happened on a copper to a PEX transition, which is concerning to me because I have a couple of projects where I have a copper to a PEX transition, and I hope they don't fail. Sharkbite knows about this, and I'm not sure everyone else knows about it, but I'm going to get into what they changed on this fitting right now to make it stronger. So let's get into that. I'm still using a Sharkbite valve because this is open. This is an open area. And I usually shut off all my water if I go away on vacation or I'm gone for a few days from the house. Keep that in mind. Always shut your water off if you leave for at least a day. Because if this happened and no one was home and my water system was on, we would have had a huge flood and would have been a disaster. So what is different with this Sharkbite? Do you see the difference? Do you see the difference? There's this little metal piece that is, I think, holding in this failed piece of plastic with the rubber. Because what happens is every year you turn this on and off, I think it wears on the actual compression fitting, and I think it loosens it up over time, and then you get a failure. So Sharkbite knew about this and they changed the fitting. So this is probably a way better fitting, and over time, of course, everything improves. People rip Sharkbite a lot, and this one you actually kind of got to rip them a little bit because that's common sense. If you're going like this, you're putting pressure on the water line. So that's my finger, and I go like this, look what happens. My finger's like bending big time and it actually hurt. There's little teeth in there, and that's a lot of force. So, and sometimes it's hard to open and close these ball valves. So you're definitely putting pressure on the water line. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna cut back probably the water line, so I don't think you can see it on camera, a little bit more. And I'm actually gonna install the PEX this line after the fact because I want to make sure it has a really good fit, and I think I'm going to clamp it as well. So I didn't clamp it here because I actually want to extend this line out to another area of my house, and I never did it because, contractor life. But that's, I think, my explanation and the reasoning why they put this metal cap on to hold the plastic in place. So let's take this apart and let's fix it. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to relieve this PEX line with this ball valve. All right, so I took off the one side, and now this just slides off. So let's check this out. See, we have the O-ring here, and then we have this little plastic clear piece, and then we have another piece that is plastic, and then you have the teeth that probably are what bites on to the copper or whatever. That is not coming off. I'm gonna have to cut that off. So that's off, and now lastly, let's go over this last little piece. Thanks, buddy. Let's go over this pipe. Check this out. So I always clean all my Sharkbites and I burr it, but you have about 1/4 of an inch or 3/8 of an inch that is exposed to water because you see how it's darker and a little bit of green on there, and then the rest is clean. So a little bit of the Sharkbite is exposed, and it makes sense because that's where the ring was. So very interesting. Now, this line is kind of loose, and I did put a clamp here, and maybe that has something to do with it. I'm not sure, but I think I'm going to switch this around. I think I'm going to cut this, and I'm going to 90 it, and I'm going to put less stress on the fitting. The reason why I initially put it low is because I was able to reach it without getting on a ladder to shut it off. But since we're renting this house out, I want to be better safe than sorry. So let me work on fixing this. So that's the inside of the Sharkbite that's failed. And this is the side that didn't fail. And I think it didn't fail because the PEX is more forgiving than copper. Now let's look at the new Sharkbite that has these little tabs here. You see it's a lock. It's locking in the whole plastic mechanism, as you can see right there, which makes more sense. Inside wise, I don't think I see a difference. I think it's pretty much the same on the inside. There is, yeah, no, definitely, yeah, I don't see a difference on the inside. So, but like I said, again, the biggest difference is this little piece of metal that goes on the top to hold in the plastic fitting from popping out. So there's gonna be a lot more failures like this. We're gonna install the right Sharkbite, the new one. What's also interesting is there's no more cap that goes in the center. I don't know if these always came with that or not, but that's also something interesting. There's like that little cap. I'll show it to you. All right, so let's check this out. I did deburr the copper. All right, so that feels good. And that's where we're at right now. So I'm gonna make this a lot stronger than I did in the past. So it's gonna be probably about right there. And now, I'm gonna crimp all this in. Make sure if you're using a Sharkbite, you deburr the edge, because the only reason why you should do this, if you hit the rubber washer, you could have a problem. It could like nick it and then you get a leak. So that's done. All right, now I'm gonna push this in like so. All right, so I know that's good. And now I'm gonna set this up right here. So I got my crimp. I'm gonna put this on and I'm gonna attach it. So that looks pretty good. This actually looks way better. Now that's connected. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a clamp, a 3/4 clamp right here to support all of this. So that looks pretty good to me. So I'm gonna put a clamp probably right about there. That looks pretty good. Let's bang it in. And I'm gonna put one more here. All right, moment of truth. I'm gonna turn the water on. Let's check it out. It looks dry. So I'm gonna turn on one of the outdoor hose. Oh, you know what? Let's turn this on. See what happens. All right, there you go. No leaks. Well, there's that. And this is way stronger, by the way. This is not moving at all. Like when I turn it on and off. And this is so supported now that it should be good for a long, long time. So let's recap this video. Well, that's a wrap on this video. This was actually a really informative video on Sharkbites. You see a lot of plumbers say, Sharkbite's bad. I think it's a combo. I think it was a bad Sharkbite, early old school situation. And it was also my fault. It was the way I installed it, because it's my house. I was a little lazy and I didn't want to get a ladder to shut off the water. And I kind of put some stress on how I installed it. So I'm not perfect, and that's why I'm doing this video. I have a little bit of humility with what I do. I always learn, I especially learn from videos like this online. I learn from videos on Instagram, and I feel like the more knowledge we have in the trades, it's better for everyone, because when I started doing this in the 90s, we didn't have YouTube to make us better tradespeople, and it's really a great tool. So that's why I do these videos. And if you have any questions, please ask. Thanks for watching. Hopefully, if you have this type of a situation, it's not going to be too bad, and it's going to be in an open space. I really, again, try to limit doing Sharkbites in walls, especially if it's like a stress situation. So that's it. If you like this video, please like it. If you like these home improvement videos, please subscribe. Thank you for all the love and support, and I'll catch you next time.